이것도 너프해 보시지.
점수 0대 2. 공수 변형. 경기를 시작합니다. 전투 중. 적의 공격까지 30초.
변환 완료. 젠장! 물 붙었어. 날 건드리면 가상 입을걸.
Hey guys, welcome back. We're back.
We're back again. Again, sorry about the downstream and
The downtime.
The downtime. It sucks. Hopefully, you jumped over to the Korean channel. They do obviously stream on the Korean one too. I think it's PlayerWatch_Korea.
KR.
Sorry, KR. Yeah, not Korea. PlayerWatch_Korea, and KR, and you can go watch the games obviously live there. Hopefully, this should be the last downtime we're going to face. However, what happened in that game, if you didn't end up watching it, WGS just held.
They
Fully.
rolled.
It was disgusting. There was like nothing Element Mystic could do. As soon as that Sombra was hacking the health bags, like we talked about it at the very start of the day with Sombra, you need to be able to get an EMP almost every single fight in order to make it worth it, because 3-3 does so much with so much less. Funnily enough, they were getting an EMP every single fight, and then they were winning it. It was actually insane. Element Mystic are not the team. They're not themselves, quite clearly. See if they bash their heads together when we move on to Rialto, which, again, can be a fairly Sombra-heavy map. There's so many points where you can hold the choke as the Sombra as well and deny a lot of that health packs.
And given what we talked about with health bags, the hacking of a mega health bag on the primary rotation of Element Mystic going through that upper corridor and down onto a mega health bag, I would have liked to have seen them gone the other way, because once you are sitting on that hacked health bag, it's actually quite easy for the opponents to go all in on you, because the enemy main tank or whoever's going deep into your lines will actually get the 250 burst heal if they run over that health bag, which makes it incredibly easy to sustain in comparison to the people who are being aggressed upon. So I would have liked to have seen a little bit of a tactical swap up there to deal with circumstances that were presented by an enemy Sombra.
Yeah, something that's also happening kind of in the background. Sometimes it kind of goes amiss because there are so many big tank ultimates that have such a massive impact. But the Lucio beats that are coming out, we're seeing WGS not stagger theirs, but they're able to just get theirs off a lot later. They're able to sustain through the oncoming aggression from Element Mystic when they put out their own sound barrier, because you want to do that because that shield is going to decay eventually. You're going to want to pressure the main tank. Then, as soon as that happens, and as soon as it all fades away, WGS go, okay, so now you've burnt movement cooldowns, you've burnt primary damage cooldowns as well, like Flame Strike, for example. Okay, we're just going to lay down our own beat, and then they take over the fight. There's not even a point where they decide that they need to EMP the sound barrier, because that sound barrier, they're just so good at actually dealing with it. So it's kind of, again, this two-pronged attack where they're not only using this grab into the shatter and then maybe into EMP, but it's like, okay, so we're using this EMP so aggro, we don't even need to worry about the supports from the Element Mystic, because they're already going to go over, already going to dissipate them before we even really need to engage. Rialto, of course, on your maps, on your screen right now, is going to be the final map in the series. The winner, though, WGS. What a surprising turnaround. It's been such a reinvigoration of this team, and this is actually their first time facing against Element Mystic too.
Yeah, maybe they are Element Mystic's kryptonite. Maybe they are the secret weapon against one of the finalist teams. And like you were saying before about sound barriers, also when you are Takoyaki and you get a 750 overshield, your mind says walk forward and press mouse 1, which means you're actually at your most vulnerable to being hacked while you are sound barriered, because Floral just gonna hold his left click on you. So in that case, that's why counterattacks can often be so effective, because there's no disengage available with a shield.
Yeah, it's a final map, Rialto.
Beautiful peppers.
Yep. A few seconds until we count down. They do look so realistic, actually. Oh,
Realistic peppers.
Realistic looking peppers. Realistic looking flags as well.
I've actually subbed in G in place of Indine.
So yeah, okay, Z is now in. Maybe this is what they needed. Maybe they needed Z to come in, just play the super aggro on the Zenyatta. But it wasn't. I gotta say, it really wasn't. It wasn't really any fault of the Zenyatta. It's just they're getting out macroed like super heavily, and even out microed with the ultimates and the ultimate economy. WGS on the offense, of course. Element Mystic are on the defense. They're just trying to get as high as they possibly can.
Well, I'd say 3-0 is a pretty high beginning for WGS Armament. New heights reached for them. Gogo is going to swap over, of course. Looks like we are going to have the usual 3-2-1 with a Sombra from Flora. Element Mystic will be offering the same up, but thus far has been able to get far less value out of those EMPs than Flora has. It does seem like Flora's definitely had a lot of practice against these consistent 3-3s. I don't know if they're going to have had as much practice against enemy Sombras, but he's playing it pretty well thus far.
Sombra's going to be able to hold the high ground here as well, but as soon as you do kind of shove her off, you can see Delar now having to back off the rest of his team. is going to get the hack, but it actually lands on Myunbong, which isn't the primary target. You can't use Discord Orb or Healing Orb. It's whatever, really. I mean, you don't use your shield's going to get hacked either, so you're going to really want to take away those tanks. I mean, sure, the Discord Orb's really devastating for Takoyaki, but it's not enough to hack away for. It's a big cooldown, of course.
Yeah, I think the Healing Orb actually stays up. You just can't change who it's attached to, but don't quote me on that. Doa will actually catch a whip shot. Caught out by Pelican across the wave. Akai's actually moving backwards at the moment. WGS Armament needs to decide what rotation we're going to go for here. Karyan's going to give up that high ground.
Yeah, they're going to jump straight onto Karyan. There's the hack that we want to see. It's actually on Gargo this time. Nice Graviton Surge into the Shadow. Shadow didn't connect, as of course the shield was up. And there's Z with his first kill of the game on Mandu. So Element Mystic now, they win the fight. And Rauto, something we spoke about during the runaway match, is kind of a hard map to assault, of course. It's very likely that a lot of teams will end up not even capping the first point, especially if you can just roll your ultimates. But the EMP is the one we got to look out for. Doa's already got his. Flora is only 10% away.
Doa's done a good job of farming that one up. Let's have the advantage here. And look at this big rotation for WGS Armament.
Right into EMP though, but look at that. Already Myunbong was just down the corridor, too far away for the EMP to actually connect, meaning he can make sure the rest of his team does survive. Another EMP comes in, that's 4 members all caught up, but Z does exactly the same thing. He's going to hide away from that EMP, and now there's the beach to try and carry the fight momentum forwards. Graviton Surge coming through from WGS as well, does end the life of 3 members of Element Mystic. And now they win the fight. Again, the staggering of these ultimates, Harry, is just so good from WGS. Myunbong doing a good job, but like I said before, of just making sure he wasn't in the EMP range, and now they can cap the first point.
Credit to both Myunbong and XZ there for being able to use their Transcendencies after the EMPs came out, but it doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of space given. No, Takoyaki will actually try and come in, but will be quickly disassembled.
Yeah, he tried. He tried. Got disassembled like some Lego bricks. That'll be Unique going down as well. He's going to throw himself into the river. And now look at the ultimates available for WGS. They've only got that Shadow, yes, but they're going to have that Rally and the Transcendence too. Element Mystic got the grab coming online, a couple of percent. Takoyaki has his Shadow as well, but they're nowhere really near that Transcendence, which is kind of vital to surviving this Graviton Surge.
Indeed it is. It is incredibly vital, Jaws, because of the lack of burst damage you get from a D.Va self-destruct. That makes Transcendence so much more viable.
Well, speaking of grabs, it's going to be on the point. Only a couple of people swinging in. Myunbong actually got hacked, so couldn't actually use that Transcendence either. So he was not able to join the fight. Had to use the Transcendence a little bit later on, but a boot from Unique onto Karyan to send him into the drink. They will end up falling, and again, perfect hacks here coming from both Sombras. Flora and Doa really have clued up on who they actually need to hack in these situations. They know if they take away that Transcendence, you can't EMP it away, so you can just hack him before he ends up using it to counteract the Graviton Surge.
They are ready to make the engagement that he wants. Going to be skirting around the outsides here. Doesn't want to get caught out before he has the perfect
it's
position.
Just so easy. Flora looking to come in though. Look, 3 people actually caught up in the back line in the Graviton Surge. Flora didn't want to go in though, because Unique once again found the boot kill onto Karyan. So saving that for the next fight is going to be quite crucial.
Flora going to have to find a new position to get himself over that bridge and potentially get into the Element Mystic backline to unload that EMP onto Eggsy, who's going to be a primary target here. Transcendence is going to be one of the main tools that Element Mystic have to survive the upcoming WGS Armament onslaught.
Ooh, that's a big EMP on the back line. Takoyaki laid down the Shadow, but if it's met with an EMP, you can't force that one up at all. Nice Transcendence coming through from Z, however, as the Graviton Surge mixed with a Sound Barrier to make a beautiful cake of WGS. Takoyaki's going to fall. There was no way you're going to survive that. Not after the Transcendence. Not after the beat came down from Mondo. There was no follow-up damage like you mentioned before. There's no D.Va, so you can't instantly blow people up with a self-destruct. And now look how far they're pushing up. 2 minutes left in the time bank, but Element Mystic still have another attack.
We questioned it the first time, but it seems like Myunbong's actually being one of the primary hack targets here for Doha. Not as much direct impact in the frontline duel, but it definitely seems like it is meaning that the Discord Orb rotations aren't as effective as they otherwise were, which could have been a huge point of WGS Armament's success.
He's hiding again, so he really expects Doha to actually come out with the EMP. Mandu does find Unique in just a boop kill. Takoyaki's going to go down as well. Graviton Surge launched into the back line. That'll be Sparkle end up falling, so really easy fight. It didn't have to expend the EMP either. Myunbong, very intelligent positioning. I think a lot of Zenyatas are getting used to getting EMP'd, so hiding around the corner is helping them survive.
Well, in current Contenders, looking at what we see here, they are going to get used to being EMP'd. Flora's going to have to teach them all a lesson. Doa and Flora both as we talk about them, going to have those EMPs ready to go. Who's going to strike first? Of course, we see a lot of counter EMPs. They are very effective, both of these guys. Ooh.
Okay, there is one, but instantly Carrion actually taken down. A Transcendence once again from Z as he stays in the back line, keeping the rest of his team alive. That EMP from WGS, only seconds too late to actually make sure they survived the rest of it, and they didn't have actually a support ultimate to back them up in that case. Flora decides enough is enough, switching over to the Hanzo this time instead.
And this seems to be the bait that WGS keep going for. They get Doha to move over on to the Sombra, and then they put Flora onto the Hanzo so that he gets the additional shield pressure on Takayaki. Meaning that Carrion can often win out these duels.
Unique again, that's the third boop kill, by the way, on Carrion. A lot of damage from Flora coming out, but the rest of Element Mystic are going to be able to push them even further into their spawn.
It's going to be hard.
Someone is backcapping, by the way. You really need to get back to the point. You are losing space. They do not realize.
No.
None of Element Mystic currently realize
guys.
there is a C9 happening. Are they going to realize anytime soon? Nope. Mandu is just solo capping the cart.
Oh,
now they
there we
finally
go.
realized he gained about 20 to 30 meters actually on that payload. So that's actually a lot of room to maneuver now, where WGS can now push through this small choke point.
That's a yikes for calling from me. That's a lot of space given over to WGS for free as well, courtesy of Mandu opening up with the grab.
Downtown grab. Oh my goodness. Takayaki jumps straight on their heads. Doha's going to find a couple of kills as well. From the top rope, hitting the elbow drop.
No one expects for Takayaki out of nowhere. Have to see if he can get any value out of a Surf Shadow. You can combine it with Doha and this EMP, of course, to reveal WGS Armament. Ensure they have no shielding available to block the
They have combo, though. WGS have combo, Dragon Strike combo with the Graviton Surge. Takayaki playing you super far forward. There's the grab. EMP come through onto WGS. Transcendence is going to help them survive in amongst that Graviton Surge. A nice shuttle from Takayaki as well, but he's all alone in the fight. A Discord Orb has been applied to him, and he gets instantly taken out by Flora using those Storm Arrows. Beautiful beat as well from WGS to surge them forward. The rest of Element Mystic wondering what happened in that fight. Looked like the perfect one, but that Dragon Strike combo into the grab made sure that WGS had to Element Mystic had to force out the Transcendence, and then Unique was died as well, so no beat from them either. Perfect rotation of ultimates once more, and now one more fight stands in the way of WGS and actually ending the series.
Good boop on Korean's going to get very aggressive. He's going to lay down a shadow. Looks like it was blocked there by Takayaki.
Yeah, the late beat comes out from Unique as well, so they're going to be able to use that to push forward. Sparkle with that Graviton Surge. They only have to fend off another 14 seconds. Flora does find one in Takayaki. Storm arrows landing directly on his face, but Doha has just taken the game into his own hands, finding a couple of his own. 5 seconds now remain for WGS Armament. Use the Transcendence to get back onto the point, but they get grabbed off of it. Still, overtime it has been triggered, but Mandu is the only person left to try and touch. Element Mystic do end the map before WGS Armament can cap the 3rd point.
Smart grab there from Sparkle, and they are not going to be able to complete here on the side of WGS Armament, but will that be enough to give Element Mystic the map win that they are so desperately looking for? And here, you got to claim the map win. You cannot get 4-0'd by the team coming through from Trials. That would be disastrous for Element Mystic. So many question marks would be raised over their 2019 season after only 1 match.
Scary stuff, Element Mystic.
And pretty things too.
Yeah, those flowers. Looking rather square.
Polygonal flowers.
Maybe they grow like that in the future. I don't know.
Yeah, man. Program them.
I was just going to say, because you can get square watermelons.
Yeah.
Like people grow them in, like, I don't know how, I guess grow them in a box. I've only seen them online. I've never seen a square watermelon in real life, but maybe that's how they grow the flower too. Maybe that works like that. I don't know. TLDR, I want to try a square watermelon to see if it tastes any different from a normal one.
I imagine it tastes like more cubic.
It's cubic got a taste.
I don't know.
Well, we'll soon find out when we buy a square watermelon later on. WGS Armament now on the defense. Element Mystic on the offense, of course. Still running this Sombra. Now, we've got to think where the Sombra is actually going to play, because we saw Doha actually put himself actually on the top of the banister and then retreat back as soon as we saw WGS push their way forward. We want to see if they're going to do the same thing, because Flora could easily hide where he's hiding now, find a hack on somebody, or potentially just annoy the backline.
Yeah, and he can also scout out incoming compositions as well here from Element Mystic, but you can imagine that it will be that well-expected 3-3 from Element Mystic. Doha is not going to be anywhere to be seen, however. They're like, where's the Diva? I don't see a Diva, so there must be a Sombra here. Already, Ixie's under huge... What? How does he get away with this?
How do you let that happen? That armor pack needs to be used on the Zen, otherwise he basically instantly dies, as you saw there. Z does end up going down. Myungbong now playing super aggro on the high ground too. this is the difference in styles between these two Sombras too. Dohar's very much more conservative the way he wants to play. So Flora doesn't care. Flora's going to be up in your face, up in your support's backline, without a care in the world.
Flora's flaudacious. That's what he is. And once again, he's all over Z again. But now for a pairback's been used. That's not available for Takayaki.
That's a big hack, though. Takayaki ends up going down instantly. Couldn't put the shield up. And Flora already up to 70% on the EMP as well. Doha just lagging behind ever so slightly. Only up to 50, so not too bad. But EMP advantage and ult advantage for WGS will be gained when that EMP does go off.
Very audacious play here from Gargoyle. Straight up, he's got the 100 energy and he wants to use it, wants to get back Graviton Surge as early as possible. Mandu, ready potentially for an assassination with the boot. Is actually going to retreat here along with Pelican. Everyone from the WGS wants to stick together. Give Flora that extra time to build up that EMP and then make the engagement that you want.
Okay. It's just come online. He instantly goes into stealth, but they know where he is. EMP has been used. Z does have the Transcendence, but he rushes forward, but it's too little too late as Gargoyle finds two with the Plasma Mortars. That is the danger of hiding so far away, but then you're kind of forced to, right? You're put in a situation where I either stayed and get EMP'd, or I have to stay back in order to not instantly die / get hacked. But then I have to rush to my team with a Transcendence. Very horrible situation for Z. Ends up going down, and WGS, look at their ult economy now. As soon as that EMP went off, they have 5.
Taki, oh no, see, taken out again by Flora. How does this keep happening? Like, they've got DNA on the team now. Do they just not register XZ's voice anymore? They're like, who's that? Who's this end? He's calling for help. It doesn't sound like Undine.
Where has he gone? Is he eating somewhere? I want food.
I don't understand how this keeps occurring, but WGS Armament, they still have time to just sit on these 5 ultimates. And Element Mystic, their time bank is languishing. 1 minute and 45 seconds remain. Sparkle and Doha are going to have to try and combine here with the combination of the Graviton Surge and the EMP. Doha scouting, looking for his insertion. We'll find Karayan here.
Okay, now he unleashes the EMP on top of that Graviton Surge of their own. 5 members is going to get hacked. Byungmong yet again with the Transcendence.
Oh my.
Okay, he got booted by Unique, but it didn't really matter at the end of it all. Element Mystic still end up going down in the grab, but they only use 1 ult, so that's actually really good for them. WGS used 2 in the grab, and obviously Byungbong's Transcendence. He's actually switching over to the Ana instead.
But Doha was so slow on the draw. He waited until Gargoyle had already used his Graviton Surge, and WGS were basically exactly where they wanted to be before that even happened. And now, still WGS may have 2 fights left in.
Early grab, early beat as well on top of WGS. Flora is going to get hacked, so we can't actually use that EMP. There's the Shadow, but a counter one coming through from Takayaki sends everybody to the ground. Element Mystic use a beat of their own, but they still have to rely on Flora's EMP. Jumps straight on top of them all and hacks 4 of them. Doha's the only one not hacked, and they just tear through the front line of Element Mystic. Humbin finds Pelican, but Gargo is going to be able to rain death from above. 100% charge on the Xayah, just ripping through the front line.
Trying to skirmish here. XZ trying to hit these orbs. It could be the point of clutch for Element Mystic. Needs to keep everyone nice and healed up. Doha's getting so close to that EMP.
Oh my, from downtown, Z actually gets killed off. A Plasma Mortar landed on top of him, and Mandu with just the left click manages to steal the kill. EMP straight on top of WGS yet again. 5 members are inflicted. Karayan is going to go down first. Byungbong couldn't even use that nano boost to actually try and save him. Ends up scurrying back. They might have another fight in this one because Gargo has grab and they have Byungbong as well on the sidelines using that nade. It's going to hit the ceiling, and that'll be a beautiful nano boost straight onto Gargoyle as well. Ends up finding 2 kills. 5 meters now remain for that payload to be delivered, and a Graviton Surge is going to get used on top of WGS. Sparkle finds 2, but Gargoyle is going to be able to find him, and now the Reinhardt is back. Karayan just staying alive on the point to make sure the rest of his team is safe. Pelican is going to use that rally as well, so none of them are going to go down so quickly. Flora's going to find Doha as well, and there's only 1 Mercer left. Unique gets taken care of, and the rest of Element Mystic end up going down. WGS, and what a surprising victory, 4-0 Element Mystic.
Well, we said it would be a day of 2 4-0s. This just wasn't the one that we anticipated at all. WGS Armament, they came from trials. They went up against our Season 3 finalists, and they found themselves to be so successful and so dominant here. Element Mystic looked kind of lost against Flora and his flexibility, so potentially they'll do better against regular 3-3 teams.
And you can see just on this clip right here, Doha waiting for that EMP. There were already people going down / dead. You EMP then when the grab has been used. It's a perfect defensive tool because people aren't going to be able to use things like particle barriers, etc. But there's still a Xayah right-clicking into that grab, and still a Reinhardt also swinging into it. There's not much you can do after that.
Yeah, there's not a huge amount you can do, and I love Myungbong swapping over there to the Ana, getting that nano boost, getting those bardic grenades, taking advantage of the fact that there was no diva to try and interrupt these the transition of these projectiles across the map, and huge value I believe came out of that. Even though we did die in that last fight, I think that being able to nano boost Gargoyle is basically one of the main factors in helping WGS Armament to win out in that brawl.
Yeah, the Zaya did manage to actually cleanse the anti-nade on her, which is fairly important when you want to do so. But the main person that did end up going down first, well, hey, it's the Reinhardt. Of course, you're going to want to nade him. As soon as he falls, the rest of the team's going to fall around him. And by that time, they just WGS paved way for their Reinhardt to come back. Carrian just sat on the point. There was nothing they could do to dislodge him. And that was it. That was all over by the end of it.
And this is all over for now. Quick break, guys. See you in a sec.
Or maybe. Maybe we'll jump to a break. Maybe we won't.
And we're not showing the intel.